Thank you very much, and a very warm welcome to all of you distinguished delegates to this session on education and employability. We have a very distinguished panel with us here this morning, and I'm sure that all of you are very keen to hear their thoughts on the subject. In the morning, we had very distinguished speakers as well, so most of the difficulties and challenges that face us in the segment of vocational education are already on the table. One of the dilemmas I think that independent India has wrestled with is whether to do education or whether to do employability. There was a notion at one time that if you have enough education and you have enough degrees, employment will come willy-nilly. Then we went through a period of trough where we realized that we had loads and loads of educated people, but not enough employment. And the worry then was about the mismatch between what we wanted in the sphere of employment and what we were producing in the sphere of education. The old difficulties that we faced with delinking jobs from degrees is now well known and well documented. The onus really lies on trying to establish what kind of degrees, whether those kinds of degrees are what employers are looking for. How do we match curriculum in our universities, colleges, training institutions to suit what the employer is looking for? On the employer side, do we need degrees at all? We can have our own testing methods, our own certification, our own training systems. Why do we need anything beyond basic education which government can provide? There are now so many forms of linkages between employers and prospective employees. And much of it has nothing to do with college education or, in fact, with any formal system at all. If a person can do his arithmetic and has basic communication skills, the rest the employer can look after. Nowadays, a lot of the employability factor is taken care of by education loans. So much of the education market across nations is actually dictated by employers who spot students at a very early age, sponsor the education they need from that student in college or university, and have a captive workforce which comes into the employment sector. So why do we need government to get into all this? In any case, it is rarely ever that government has spotted market trends in time and actually used fancy footwork to predict the market. And could I request a little bit of quiet on that side? Madam? Madam? Hello? आप बैठ जाइए या खड़े हो जाइए या आपकी चॉइस है, लेकिन So the worry at all times is this: when government handles large volumes of people, how does it, one, decide what, how and who to train? Why is the government system, which is so large, so much like a behemoth, so much like an elephant which cannot change its course because of the inherent momentum, is horrible in any case in predicting what will be required 5, 7, 10 years down the line? Why should it get involved with a large scale, let us say, program on skill development? Can employers do without it? Government can say, look, we give basic education, rest is up to you. This is one way of thinking. The other is that government itself becomes proactive. Nothing's there to stop it except its heavy-handed bureaucracy. If you look at the ITIs across the nation, you really wonder whether we have ever done any justice to vocational education. Walk into a school and ask, How many who have passed the 10th and who wanted to do vocational education can ever get a chance to do it? No school that I know, even the most sophisticated schools in Delhi, have anything like a vocational stream worth the name. The answer always is, if you talk to these principals, as I have many times, well, you know, what do I teach them? If I teach them carpentry, if I teach them anything else, people are not interested. And then every parent asks, what after? Which university will take them? What will they do in college? Questions that can only be answered if we say that yes, these are the skills the market requires. If a student takes this vocational course, this is the employability factor. And that is, in fact, the bottom line of this particular session which we have this morning. So once again,